Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibzuda7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog here today. In this video, I'm going to be talking about this week's patches, and there actually are quite a few patches in this video, so I am going to be showing quite a few things on the screen here, just doing some disassembling while we kick things off and I go over the main things on the main post. But as usual, there is no actual update this week. However, there have been some rumors and some rumblings that the archaeology release date is going to be announced this week, and it is likely going to be next month, which I think would be awesome if we can get it in March as opposed to April. So yeah, that is possible for next month. Usually they end up making them pretty late in the month, but we'll have to wait and see. Some people are saying it's going to be on March 3rd. I will be extremely surprised if it comes out next week. There's absolutely, there's no way that they'll do that. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it here. For the main post, the game update post, they really don't have a lot. They talk about the double XP weekend. It's not even double XP weekend anymore. They need to come up with a new name for it aside from double XP weekend extended. That just sounds kind of dumb at this point, considering it's 10 days long. But yeah, that's still going on. I'm sure most of you have probably been going for some stuff on that if you if you do play on main account. So hope you've been getting some good level ups or 99s or whatever your goals have been for this one. But under that, they have a little bit about the patch notes, a brief thing, and they really don't touch on the more interesting patch notes on there, but I'll go into those separately because there is one other thing that I had no idea was coming, but maybe they'd mentioned it on stream or something because people seem to know about this. The Dwarven Instinct and Desert Pantheon auras have been re-added to the game, and yeah, I didn't really think this was something they were going to do ever, but they did have the Majorat aura obviously coming in the Reaper shop for 1k Reaper points or for 3 bonds. So I guess it only makes sense that they might go and do the other auras from the Premier clubs in the past. So yeah, there are ways to get them in game. However, it seems like it'd be a bit crazy, at least for the Desert Pantheon aura sounds pretty nuts. You need to get 2,000 Desert Pantheon fragments, and you get 50 fragments each time you fully complete all of the objectives in a shifting tomb while you have tier 8 or higher Menaphos reputation. So sorry about the typing. I'm just looking at shifting tombs on the wiki really quick, as I really have not done much of it at all. I'm trying to see how long of a time you have just to see the worst case. Okay, it says assuming all objectives are completed and the player exits the rope before the time is up, rounds of shifting tombs is 4 to 5 minutes, I guess. So yeah, 4 to 5 minutes per round if you complete all the objectives, meaning, let me get out my calculator because I don't want to screw up math in my head. I think it's 40 though. Yeah, 40 runs of the shifting tombs to get the full aura, which, do the math on that. That's times 5, let's say 5 minutes each. That's okay. It's actually not as bad as I thought, to be honest. I thought it sounded really, really bad, 50 out of 2,000. But if you do it and get it every time, 40 runs will take you 200 minutes, so just over 3 hours of shifting tombs. So actually, I was pretty shocked that it was so high, but it's actually not as high as I really thought. I thought shifting tombs took longer than that. I don't know. Like I said, I really haven't even done it since Menaphos came out. But yeah, you can get the Desert Pantheon aura through that. However, importantly, the Sign of Life thing, the Ward of Ichlaren, is no longer a thing. It's not even nerfed. It's just gone. So yeah, it is not going to be something people can abuse for Telos or anything like that. I just want to quickly look up Desert Pantheon and just make sure I have the other effects. So you have one that gives you 10% reputation gained within Menaphos for 1 hour, if you still need Menaphos rep for the quests or whatever. There's one that increases your maximum life points by 20% for 1 hour, which seems pretty weird. Up to 1,000 extra. That's an interesting one, I guess. Might be better than Bonfire, I think, or does it stack with Bonfire? I don't know. That's That's a weird one. I don't remember that one at all. There's one that gives you 10% increased XP gain for 1 hour, not usable by Iron Men. And then the only other one, oh, actually they've removed the ward of Ichclaren on the wiki page, so there's 2 more. There's one that increases your divine location gathering limit by 100%, which can be used once per day, and does not stack with the Viswax boost, so it is basically the same as if you used 40 Viswax to increase. And then there's one that gives all nearby players the 10% pulse core effect for 10 minutes, which I think would probably be a pretty big waste of your charges. And Iron Man can't use that one either. So it might be decent to have on Iron Man for the divine location thing, as well as maybe the max life points. I don't know how useful that actually is, but yeah, it's not too bad to have, especially for main accounts. The 10% XP for 1 hour would be really nice. And yeah, it is not too hard to get, I guess. And also, you can buy it for 2 bonds, apparently. Do I have any bonds? Oh, I do. Why do I have 10 bonds? I don't know. So yeah, as you can see, they're right both in here. The Desert Pantheon aura. I don't want to click redeem because I don't actually want to buy it right now. But they're 2 bonds each, according to Reddit. They don't actually have that on. Oh yeah, they do. 2 bonds each in the bond interface, as opposed to the Majrat aura, which is 3 bonds. So these ones actually sound much less annoying to get, though, because 1,000 Reaper points is a really, really high amount. But the Shifting Tombs isn't too bad, and then the other one, the Desert Pantheon, which I'm going to talk about next, isn't too bad to get either. So yeah, if you want to get it, you might not remember how it works exactly. It's a charge-based aura, so it's not really even an aura. It's like based on charges. It doesn't have necessarily a cooldown. Every day you get 250 charges, and you can store up to a maximum of 500 charges on the aura, and each of the effects uses a different amount, with the most expensive being the 10% XP gain, which uses 200 charges on its own. So yeah, it's a pretty nice couple of effects there, and I would definitely recommend getting it. Probably not worth spending 2 bonds to get it, since it doesn't take that long in Shifting Tombs, but if you don't want to do the Shifting Tombs, then go ahead and spend those bonds. The other aura is the Dwarven Instinct aura, and this can be purchased in 2 pieces from the Artisan's Workshop for 100% rep each. So it's 200% Artisan's Workshop reputation to get the full aura, which, I mean, you're going to be training smithing there anyway, so this one is even less annoying to get than the Shifting Tombs, which you might not necessarily be doing. So yeah, that is a nice one to get through there. And let's see what this does. I don't even know. I didn't have this one. I did have the Desert Pantheon, but you can, when worn and activated, it allows the wearer to find magical chests of loot while training skills and killing monsters. This thing lasts for 1 hour and resets at reset time every day. And it cannot be reset or extended, so that is interesting. Oh, it says you can reset it with the Helion aura, so maybe you can reset it with the Premier Artifact as well. And then there's a minimum of 9 minutes between chest spawns, so you can only get up to 7 looted per use. And it also says Iron Man receives significantly reduced rewards from the chest. So I guess that is probably good. I don't know what you can actually get. There's a lot of stuff that you can get from the chests, I think. Let me see. Magical chest rewards. Yeah. Okay, so there's total levels. Based on your it's based on your total level what you can get. So the maximum tier is tier 8, which is 2401 total and higher. And the rewards are honestly not that great. You can get Crystal Triskelion pieces, Clue Scrolls, Hard and Elite, and then some low amounts of skilling resources. So I guess this one makes sense in being pretty easy to get because it's not that great, but you might as well throw it on while skilling if you're not using a different aura. So yeah, those are now in the game. Both can be purchased for 2 bonds in the bond interface or through Shifting Tombs and Artisan's Workshop respectively. So yeah, I think it's good that they're bringing these things back. Also, if you don't have it, but you did purchase those Premier Club packages, I think you can get it back from the Aura guy. I think he might be in Varrock or Burthorpe or something, so you don't have to buy them if you already had the Premier Club package, just like the Majorat Aura, of course. Anyways, now moving on to the actual patch notes. That was everything from the main update page. There is quite a few patch notes that I want to go over. First things first, let me see if I have, I don't think I do. Oh, I have one, but it is uncharged. There was a new teleport added to the skills necklace, and it is actually, or 2 new teleports added to the skills necklace, and it's actually one that I am really happy about. They have added the Invention Guild and the, 3 new teleports actually. Damn, shows what I know. They added the Invention Guild, which is the big one in my opinion, because there was no, I mean, getting there was not hard. You just had to go to the Falador Lodestone and walk north, but it's always nice to just have a teleport directly there. What runes do I need to enchant? Water, earth. Oh yeah, here's another one of the changes that you can obviously see. But before we get into that, as you can see, once I enchant it here, you can now teleport using the skills necklace to... Wait, oh, you have to charge it at the... I thought it would be fully charged when you charge it initially, but I guess I have to go to the Legends Guild, which I will not do at this very moment. But, you know, you can trust me. You can now teleport to the Invention, Runecrafting, and Farming Guilds. And obviously the Farming Guild is the Manor Farm, but it does take you slightly closer than the Lodestone, so you can use that if you want to get there more quickly. So that's just awesome. I'm really happy to see that. The skills necklace is now much more useful, and I'm definitely going to be making some for getting to the Invention Guild for various things. Now we're going to skip down a little bit. As you can obviously tell right here, the Combat Academy has been just completely axed. It is now gone, and the NPCs are all gone and everything. It has been moved into by the Lumbridge Market is what they're calling this place, and it's kind of cool. There's some stalls here that you can thieve from, little low-level stalls. But the weird thing about it, which I definitely agree with, that I saw people say on Reddit, there's these stalls here, but there's no actual shops. Like, there's no one you can actually trade with, which kind of is strange. Like, you'd think that this market would have people to trade with, and I don't know, for some reason all these NPCs are just men and women, and look at these two are doing the exact same thing, so that's nice. Very, very immersive. Like, they're not like, you know, the men and women that are, you know, around Lumbridge that you can pickpocket and kill and stuff, so that is kind of a detriment in my opinion. And I hope the Combat Academy, I mean, I used it in my early levels for some free XP. It was really, really good for that. I guess it is, it's not going to be possible anymore unless they do it, re-add it in some way. They also say some of the combat training dummies have been moved to Burthorpe, but that doesn't really matter because I don't think the NPCs or the tutorial itself are going to be there. So yeah, this area is now a little bit different. Maybe good for some low-level thieving, but definitely could use a bit more TLC, I think, adding some actual interactable NPCs and shops within it. But yeah, other than that, that was kind of an aside because we're back to the invention stuff really quick. I do need to go to the Invention Guild because they have updated the Invention MakeX interface, so I want to see what that looks like. On my way there, they have also added a couple of things to the filter from God Wars 2. The poison from Greg and the bleeding from Hellweir are now filterable in there. They've also made it so that once your seals would no longer be useful, that you will no longer get them in God Wars 2. So say I have all the rep from I have all the rep for Greg, Hellweir, and Twin Furies. Killing Vindicta, I wouldn't get any seals because they would be useless to me. And I mean, this is good, kind of, but it's also bad because I wish they would have added an additional use to the seals rather than just removing them at that point. Like maybe some way of using them for kill count, maybe at a ratio of like 10 for like 3 or 4 or 5 kill count. I think that would have been a nice little addition, but yeah. Okay, so as you can see, there's much less in this interface as a start, and it's just the core items that you might expect, like the Siphon, the Augmenter, the Divine Charge, your gizmos, stuff that, you know, the regular invention stuff that you use quite often. And then there's a drop down for all these various things now. So what's skilling support? You know, all this stuff that I have rarely ever used, but just what you would expect to be in here kind of is. Skilling outfit pieces obviously are the skilling outfits that you can make via Invention. The random cosmetics that are available. Oh, I didn't even... Was this here before? I don't think it was. Or maybe only when you had the stuff to make it. That is so bad how all the dyes have a different version, but I guess makes sense. So there's all your augmented items that require like divine charge, like, you know, they get made into a different item. They're not like normal augmented items. Oh, I didn't know that these even existed. Refined augmented stuff. And then your miscellaneous little teleport items. Where's the teleportation compactor? Is my question, because if those things are in misc items, then combat support, tight spring, interesting. I'm trying to find the teleportation compactor, or was it in the frickin' misc items and I just was blind? That's a definite possibility. No, light bulb hat. Huh. Is it a core item? Well, either I'm blind or I don't know, I can't find the teleportation compactor. I would have expected it to be in the misc items considering the spirit tree rerouter and the portable fairy ring are here, but I don't know. Maybe I'm blind, maybe it's gone. Who knows? But anyways, we can move on now. They've added an ancient seed to Herbie Werby reward shop, which I'm interested in because it teleports you to the Herbie Werby place on Anachronia, and I want to know if it's a one-time use or not. Before I run there, let me see if I can just find out on the wiki because it's far away and annoying to get to. They are consumed upon use. Okay, so that sucks. That is not. They're 50 points each, so an entire week's worth of points gets you 2 seeds. I don't understand why they really added that. I mean, I guess like you can use them to get around the island a bit easier. You can teleport here, but is that really going to be around somewhere that you want to go right away? Not particularly. Liverworts, I guess, but meh. That's unfortunate. I wish they made one that was like, you know, a lot of points, but was a permanent thing that you could reuse. But that's that. Other than that, I'm going to scroll down a bit. One thing that a lot of people complained about was that the Tower of Life altars would, you know, you wouldn't be able to do the method where you have a lot of the one thing that the guy doesn't drop, and then, you know, but you used it. Okay, I'm really bad at explaining this, but basically, before they made the comp rework changes, you were able to bring your Artie Cloak in your inventory, and or maybe you didn't even bring it at all, but you would just bring a large amount of the item that you would be needing to make the animal or whatever you want to call it in there, and then you would only bring like 1 or 2 of the other item that the monster actually dropped when you killed it, so you could get as many as you wanted throughout through one trip. But now you can use since that change, you weren't able to make that choice because the noting was built into the comp rework once you complete the task set. But now you can use the item that you get as a drop noted on the altar to get one of it unnoted, which is nice, saves people from, you know, that annoyance. It was quite a while before they added that, but yeah. They've also done a couple of diversity improvements is what they're calling it. I'm just going to go ahead and not even touch on that. A lot of people are talking about it on Reddit. It's just some name changes within the game. Yeah, that's about it of various NPCs. I'm just going to skim over that. I don't really have a very large opinion on it anyways. We have some things for 120 farming and Herblore. The big one is that flies are now stackable. So that is a pretty big change because of the fact that previously, if you wanted to get flies, you had to basically run back and forth to the bank a billion times. But now they're stackable, which pretty much defeats the purpose of the stink shrooms because they were that was kind of their whole justification for their existence, was that they gave a stackable insect. But now that these regular flies are stackable, there's no real use for the stink shrooms. They should probably be buffed to drop more flies at a time. But let me come over to the pet shop here, and we have, okay, he sells less of them, so that's interesting. I'm almost positive he had 1,000 before, but I can just buy 200 flies, and obviously those are used for your frogs at the ranch at a time. So yeah, a lot of people complained about that. Pretty nice to see that they made that change. Another big change for Ironman as well is the Cave Nightshade is apparently now far less frustrating to harvest. Previously, you'd have to like world hop or stuff. I never actually have done it myself, but I know people were definitely not happy about it. To be honest, I don't even know where you go to get it. Is it in this cave? If not, I have no idea, because I'm not about to go roaming around this scavenge. Oh, that just brings you. That's a clever. Oh, I don't have a map. Okay, well, whatever. I'm not. It's somewhere in here. I know it's in the scavenge caves where you get Cave Nightshade, but basically, there's now a lot more spots to harvest them from, and and they also now work with Signs of the Porter, which is huge. So as far as I know, it should be much easier and more convenient to harvest Cave Nightshade now. And if you don't know, I'm just verifying. I'm fairly sure it's used for Weapon Poison ++. Yes, it is. And with coconut milk, pain in the ass. But yeah, now it's much less annoying. So that's a pretty nice change. I was pretty happy to see that, because I am gonna need to do that at some point to get myself some Weapon Poisons. The mining stamina bar is also now on by default for new players, which I think is good. And then they have bug fixes, which I don't think there was a whole lot of big ones in here that I figured out. They fixed the issue that was happening where you couldn't reclaim your hunters or trappers outfits, which is nice. And they also have removed the quest icon on the mini-map once you've completed the new quest. So yeah, that is it for the patch notes, but some really nice changes in here this week. I was pretty happy with. The Cave Nightshade one is nice. Stackable flies will be nice for getting those insects for your farming. The Tower of Life thing is nice, because I was thinking about doing that recently for unicorn horns, and now it'll be much easier for me to do so. The Invention Make X interface, I think, looks a lot better and more clean now, but I'm just confused as to where the teleportation compactor has gone. Maybe it only shows up if you have the stuff to make it? Or do you have to have it researched for it to show up in the interface? Oh my god, I bet I'm going to have like 1,000 comments on that of people saying, you have to have it researched to show up, you idiot. Oh, great, because I know I don't have that, because it's a high-ass level thing. Well, try not to crucify me too much, because I figured it out. That's definitely why it didn't show up. And then there was the Seals and God Wars 2. Again, I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't make them have a different extra use, but, what can you do there? The Ancient Seed at Herbie Werby could be way better. And then the Skills Necklace new teleports, I think, are fantastic. Both of them, or all three of them, are fairly decent. The Invention Guild is by far the best. The Runecrafting Guild is very slightly faster than going there through the Wicked Hood, and the Farming Guild is, again, very slightly faster than using the Lodestone. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to the release of Archaeology. I will, of course, be making several videos on the day that comes out, talking about everything that I've learned and how the training is going, and all sorts of stuff like that. Really looking forward to the skills release. The last skill that I was on release for the last skill that I was on for the release of was Divination, and I really liked it. Just having that, getting into it right when it comes out and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. And we'll have the normal weekly hardcore video as usual. If you missed this weekend's episode that I uploaded yesterday, you should really check it out, because it was a pretty insane episode for the series. But let me know your guys' thoughts on this week's updates in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.